first and foremost, obviously, thank you very much. It's great to obviously have lots of new faces. There will be our current vice president who's joined us, so Noor, who you'll see in the background, and I think Innocent, the ambassador president, will also be joining as well. It'll be quite short, so we won't take up too much of your time. Should be wrapped up hopefully by 8 o'clock this evening. But the key thing really is to give you an overview of the iMedix Ambassador Program. You are the 7th batch of people that have applied. There's 6 sets of ambassadors who've gone before you. And the program is growing, and it's hopefully going to get more and more exciting. So what we'll do is I'm going to talk you through a few things. For example, who we are. I'd like to think hopefully you know who we are, otherwise maybe you wouldn't be here. Who we are looking for, what your benefits will be, what we would require from an ambassador, and how to actually apply for the ambassador program. We'll hear briefly from Noor as well on a few things, and we'll obviously give you guys an opportunity to answer any questions. I'm assuming you can all hear me and see me because nobody's raised any issues, which is good. So taking you back to the start, guys, so we are an online medical education platform that was established back in 2017 by 2 UK-based GPs. I'm Dr. Sandhu. My co-founder, Dr. Mo, is traveling at the moment, so he may not be able to join us, but he's the other co-founder. You may have seen him, of course, on many of the webinars. We have a very large team in terms of ambassadors, but our core team is actually based in the UK. And what we've done is lots of different things, but we're both part of the NHS England Clinical Entrepreneur Programme, which has been very helpful for mentoring, networking and connections. We've met with one of the former deputy directors of the NHS, so again, a very good connection, who's aware of the work that iMedix does. And we educate around about 26,000 doctors at the moment, and that list is growing. Normally we have around about maybe 400 to 600 new doctors joining us every month. And that database of doctors is growing rapidly. And why is that happening? Well, the reason that's happening is because iMedix is one of the only few providers that provides free online question banks for professional exams in the UK and for those wishing to enter the UK. And this is just a flavour of some of the exams. So if you're, for example, a GCSE or A-level student, or indeed an undergraduate student thinking of studying medicine, we have a UCAT exam, which is free, and that's for medical school entrance. We have the UKMLA exam, which is for medical school finals, and will soon be replacing the PLAB 1 exam. We currently have a free PLAB 1 question bank for the international doctors who are looking to work and moved into the NHS. We have a free question bank for the junior doctors, situational judgment exam, which foundation doctors do. We have speciality trainee entrance exams, which is the MSRA exam, which is the exam that doctors will take when they enter into specialist training. We have an exam for GP trainees, which is the AKT exam, which is what I was just doing a mock exam for now. We have returning doctors, so senior doctors who've taken time away, but they've been away for a long period, and they do something called the induction and refresher exam. So we've got that, which is free as well. And we've also got the emergency medicine, psychiatry question banks that are going live at the moment, and an OBS and gynae one on its way. So we're constantly building. The free question banks are interesting. There's an example of what it looks like on a phone. You've got, the speciality, the topic, the question, and then it's a very exam format, and then it's the best answer that you click, and then it gives you some feedback underneath. We are one of the first gamified question bank modes, and what we do with the gamification is you can compete with colleagues. So you've got someone from India, someone from Saudi Arabia, someone from South Africa, how many questions they answered, what their percentage was, and that gives them a rating, and people just have a bit of camaraderie, if you like, in between different doctors to see who's number one in the number of questions that they've answered. We've got a very powerful search engine, so for those of you who are doctors, you may, for example, be looking for a question on how to manage hypertension in a diabetic patient, in which case you will type that into the search engine, and the AI will be able to pick out whereabouts it is, and you can click on those questions and focus on them. And likewise, we can focus on your weak areas. So if this candidate is struggling with antibiotics and COPD and lung function tests and cellulitis-based questions, so they can hone their revision into that. So that's where we use the AI, artificial intelligence, to pick out your weak points and allow you to focus your revision. And we are, as I mentioned already, the first in the world where we've got one of the free complete exam question bank service, gamified with artificial intelligence. And that's essentially what iMedix does. But we do other things as well. So we do mock exams, which I've just done just now, literally before this call, for most of today, for the GP trainees, but also, again, junior doctors and college students as well who want to do medicine. We do video courses, we do podcasts, which are educational. We've got coaching for exams. And then we do other specialized projects as well. For example, we help international doctors who are applying to move to the UK with their visas and with their English tests, accounting advice. And for our doctors, we also try and help them get jobs, both as in terms of permanent jobs and also locum jobs as GPs and hospital doctors and so forth. So the reason why you guys are all here tonight, you're all here because you're looking to join the ambassador program. You might be asking, what is an ambassador? Why am I here? What's the benefit for me? Number one, you can place it on your CV, which is good. It looks good on your personal statement if you're applying for medicine as well. The key thing is you'll get to network with, as a minimum, 2 UK GPs, that's me and Dr. Mo, but you'll also get to work with other medics and aspiring medics from around the world. So we do catch-ups every month, and it's nice to hear different stories and learn from people's backgrounds, and it's very helpful for those of you, for everyone who's in the medical field, because it will benefit you in your journey at whatever stage you may be at. You do get a 50% discount for all the products, which is nice. There's a yearly get-together where we try and have a social, sometimes very difficult because our ambassadors are all over the world, but we've had 2 already. And we pick a nice restaurant, everybody comes down. It's just nice to kind of physically meet, especially now COVID is over. We are developing personal development webinars to run every month, can focus on things like productivity, timekeeping, and other topics of interest that you yourself may say, look, I'm struggling with this, or and it doesn't have to be a medicine topic, it can be a life skill. And then we will run development webinars on that. So it helps you in your self-development on your journey to becoming doctors and being the best that you can be. You get an iMedix hoodie, which looks a little bit like the one I'm wearing here. So it's stitched on the front, it's stitched on the back, and it's stitched on the sides. And Dr. Mo reliably tells me it's the same people that make Chelsea Football Club's hoodie. They're very good. And after a few months of good active engagement in the program, we then, give out the hoodies. We do mentoring, so there's an opportunity there's mentors on the program who you can reach out to every few weeks, and you can share some of your thoughts, good things and bad things, and what things you need help with, and they can try and use their experience to kind of help you along your journey. We'll obviously let you know about new things that we're doing. We have a photo ID card, which has a QR code, which again, you can use for promotion. And we have special projects like the podcasts and various other things. For example, the virtual work experience that we run now, it was our first set of ambassadors who told us, who were crying out for that. And they helped us develop that program. And now it's one of our, biggest events that we do for people who want to study medicine. This is what the hoodie looks like. So as I mentioned before, it's that kind of blue, stitched at the front, stitched at the back, stitched on the side. I'm wearing one at the moment. We've got about 80 ambassadors at the moment, and these guys are slotted pretty much all over the world. The UK's over here, Europe, so different parts of Europe, Asia, Africa, and the Middle East. We're pretty much covering everywhere. And what do we want? So the iMedix Ambassador program is not someone who just dips their toes in and dips out. We want you to become part of the journey. So as the company grows, we want you to be part of that and grow like some of our current ambassadors have grown into excellent junior doctors who are excelling. They're still part of the program. They're still giving back to the program, and they're still benefiting from the program. So look at it as more of a career-long journey. You're going to be a doctor for 30, 40 years. Let's go on that journey together. We do expect professionalism because we are regulated by the GMC. So, a good doctor could have good values, morals, and ethics, and that should always be represented in the way you behave and conduct yourself. But we're looking for people who are enthusiastic with lots of ideas. The ambassadors that do really well are the ones who have the ideas, who say to us, guys, that is rubbish, or this could be better. Why don't you do this? Have you thought of that? Some of those ideas may not be good. Some of them, you may think are rubbish, but actually they'll be amazing when we think about them and brainstorm them. And if we can get our team and invest some money into it, our team may then go and put that idea out there and actually get it going. So, never think that everything, never feel shy of what you're, because we're happy to hear anything that you have, and we're not afraid of constructive feedback. So that's what we're looking for. Dedicated ambassadors who'll get involved, will gain as much as they can from the program, and that help us along the way. Similar things that we do. So ambassadors, what do they do at the moment? So you can get involved in different roles. Some of them will answer queries. For example, sixth form ambassadors may answer queries on the virtual work experience, on the personal statement checker, on the interviews that we do. You may generate email leads. So you might, for example, say, the doctors at my hospital are keen on your platform. Here's an email, and here's an email of the lead who'd like to have a chat with you. Those are the kind of things that we're looking for: generation of emails, promoting our products and services, and also promoting us on social media, whether that's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Snapchat, and whatever else you guys use. But not just promoting us, actually getting involved. If you want to be on the iMedics Instagram and you've got good ideas, let us know and we'll put you on there. You will be the star of the iMedics Instagram platform. Generate the ideas and we will give you the platform and the team around you. We've got, who work on our digital marketing and those kind of things. And you'll learn other skills that you can take with you, not just in medicine, but for any other plans that you may have going forward. How do you apply? What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you this email today, but if you have got a notepad, just make a note of it. It's info@i-medics.co.uk. That's info@i-medics.co.uk. Put in your tagline, Ambassador Batch 7 application, and you have to answer 3 questions. And those 3 questions are, number 1, why do you think you make a good iMedics ambassador? Number 2, which part of the country / world are you in? And number 3, what stage of your career are you at the moment? So 3 simple questions. That will then lead on to an interview. The first set of interviews will be done by our current ambassador president and vice president and some of the ambassadors. And if you get through that email, you will then go on to a second round interview with myself and Dr. Mo. The next steps, as I've mentioned, so we will look to get you guys on board in the next 6 to 8 weeks. We normally converse via email. And as I mentioned, the interviews are online. So the first set will be with Innocent and Noor, the president and the vice president. If you pass that, you will move on to the interview with myself and Dr. Mo. These are the iMedics social media handles. I'm sure you've seen it: Instagram, Inspire_Medics, Facebook, Inspire_Medics Home, YouTube, Inspire Medics, Twitter, Inspire_Medics, and also LinkedIn, where you can follow us on Inspire Medics. So that will open up the floor for any questions. And what I will do is I will let Noor, I think Noor, you asked if they can, yeah, so they can see your messages, Noor, if you've got any messages that you wanted to send them. But what I'll do is I'll hand over to you for your segment, and then we will move on from there. So just while Noor is getting her screen ready, a couple of questions have cropped up. So Seema said, where can I find the application form? So Seema, I'm going to type it in. In fact, I'll type it in right now so that everyone can see it. It says info@i-medics.co.uk. So that's going to be the email, which has gone in there. I'm just going to, and then, so that's basically you answer those 3 questions. How do you prepare for the interviews? Just be yourself. So have a, know what we're about, know a little bit about, have some ideas as to how you think, or what you think, what skills you think you have that would make you a good candidate for the program. Anonymous question: can GCSE students be ambassadors? Yes, they can. We have got GCSE students at the moment. When is the deadline for the application? So ideally what we want to do is we would like to get all of the applications in within the next couple of weeks. So hopefully the next fortnight, and then we can work on doing it from there. So I'm going to hand over to Noor, and while she's talking, I'm just going to put the 3 questions that we mentioned in our PowerPoint that you should try and respond to, just so you can have it, maybe paste it off your screen. And then Noor, I'll hand over to you for the next stage then.
Hi, I'm Noor. I'm the Vice President of the iMedics Ambassador Program. So I'm just going to quickly answer the previous question about interviews. So me and Innocent, we are going to be asking you questions based off the program and new ideas that you think you'd be able to include in the program. So it's really useful that you do take notes during this webinar. And also for GCSE students, we have a mentor-mentee program, and currently there is a GCSE mentor for GCSE students to help you through your journey. So some of the projects that we do at iMedics are podcasting. We have a podcast on Spotify called The Man in the Medics. So basically we sit down and talk about new medical topics and our experiences. There's a debating society. We've currently had one debate and everyone received a certificate after it. And there's someone mediating the debate, and you get a month in advance to prepare your speeches. There's social media, so it's really important that you promote our social media on your platforms, and also create social media posts and photography, so it can be promoted on our platforms as well. There's blog writing. I can send a few examples during your interviews if you'd like. And there is, it's on the website currently. There's a mentorship programs. It's been really helpful for me personally. I had a mentor from GCSEs up until now, and there are you get to make a lot of friends during this. And there's graphics design. So there's some ambassadors that have helped redesign the website and also create posts for social media using Canva. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And also, if you needed anything, your first point of contact would be me or Innocent.
That's brilliant. Thank you very much, Noor. So that's a good overview from our current Vice President, who's been in that role for almost a year now. So it's good to see. I don't think Innocent joined us today, but anonymous question: is this a paid position? Or okay, so Noor's typing an answer, but just to answer that for everybody, so it's not a paid for position, although you will be paid if you are the president or the vice president, and that role does change every year. So and you get voted in basically, so the people have done really well and the other ambassadors have been impressed with, but otherwise it's not a paid for position, because you're not doing a full-time job. It's contributing to certain projects. Can a GCSE student be a vice president? So there's no barrier to being a vice president or a president, as long as you're good, you've got ideas, yeah, and you can put forward your application, you will be able to do it. So that's pretty much it. So Noor, I think, is typing a question or an answer down there. But does anyone else have any questions before we wrap up? There will be a recording. It will go onto the iMedics YouTube channel, which you can watch back should you want a bit more information. So sixth form students, so Noor is an example of a sixth form student. She's in front of you. She's the vice president. She's overseen the podcast program. She's been involved in the social media, design of the website, pretty much had a role in a lot of the things that we've done. And she's well networked in, and she's probably one of the younger members of the program. She's, so in response to that, it doesn't really matter if you're a sixth former or a doctor. What we're looking for is breadth. So we want doctors, we want med students, we want aspiring medical students. The key thing is, you know, what you bring to the table, because you'll gain a lot from this program. So one of the things that me and Dr. Mo realized later on was having mentors and connections and networking, a very, very powerful tool in a career like medicine, where you need the advice as you're going through, whether you're an A-level student or a medical student or a junior doctor, working your ways up the ranks. You need that support, you need those mentors. And so that's why there's a lot more benefit in there for you guys to try and join if you can. But so that leaves you with that. So that, I think that question's being answered. So yeah, so we've got a couple more minutes left. So if anyone does have any questions, do let us know. Otherwise, what we will do is wrap up, and the recording will go on the YouTube channel. If you look in the chat box, you'll see the iMedics email. It says info@i-medics.co.uk, and you've got to complete the 3 questions. Why? Number 1, why would you make a good iMedics ambassador? Number 2, what part of the country/world are you in? Number 3, what stage of your career are you in? So 3 easy questions. Get them over to us via email. We'll have a look at them in the next fortnight. We'll get you on, those of you who've gone through that stage or who are interested, onto an interview with the president and the vice president, plus or minus some other ambassadors. You get through that interview, then we'll get you onto an interview with myself and Dr. Mo, and then we will pick the next set of ambassadors from there. So we're almost approaching 8 o'clock. Noor's answered her last question, which is great. So I'm going to leave the screen running for 60 seconds if anybody's got any questions. And if not, then we will wrap it up. So I think thank you for your time. Not a problem. So that's from the anonymous. So yeah, so I'm keeping an eye on my watch. So when it hits, I've got 30 seconds left. So like I said, if anyone's got any questions, we're both here now. One more question. How many so there's no limit. So anonymous question is, how many ambassadors would you take per batch? There is no limit. So if you're all good, you'll all get in. Obviously, you know, if you're not good, then you won't get in. So it comes down to you guys. If you know, we're happy with whoever comes in, as long as they perform well in the interviews and get through those screening tests. Imogen, thank you very much. Not a problem. Brilliant. So I think that is a wrap from there. So thank you very much, everybody who got in touch and joined us this evening, wherever you are in the world. Obviously, stay safe, and we look forward to hearing from you soon.